Hello, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to Casually F2P, where I, Casual, play various games free to play. Today, we're going over the freshly dropped dev notes for Netmarble's Marvel Future Revolutions. Let's go ahead and jump right into it now, shall we? What's going on, everyone? Hi there, Casual here. It is great to have you with me, whatever time it may be for you when you're watching this. I hope you're doing well. Let's go ahead and jump right on in. I've got them all ready to go here. So let's see. Boom! Developer's notes, and I'm even going to go like this a little bit so that it's a little bit easier to read. Yeah, there we go. All right, so Marvel Future Revolution, dev note number 13. Here we go. Greetings, agents. This is the Marvel Future Revolution dev team. I'm also basically going to go over, read them, and all that fun stuff. Going to go ahead and also give you the free-to-play kind of mind frame of looking at a lot of these things. What it kind of means, what, and all that. Yeah, just all of it. So let's get into it. There are two major components for the August update. It's none other than the aforementioned squad battles. Whoopsie, come on, stop scrolling so fast. And new superhero Wolverine update. Okay, so as expected, or guessed by many, it is indeed Wolverine. And also, balance-related update will take place. Let's check it out. So, first up, Squad Battles is a PvP content where agents battle against each other in teams. Up to 9 heroes can join the squad battle by forming 3 teams with 3 heroes per team. Okay? So far, sounding like it's going to be all people, necessarily. Squad Battles was developed with the goal of utilizing all the heroes in the squad you have nurtured. Unlike the existing Dimensional Duel, it proceeds as a 3v3 team battle. It is more on how you strategically form the team and place the heroes. Thus, the battle takes place on auto mode. So there will be no form of taking control of this whatsoever. I don't know how that's going to go for a lot of people. I personally don't dislike that, especially in the sense of this is going to be a 3v3, you choose 9, and it's probably going to be like boom, then boom, then boom. This is sounding kind of a lot like Marvel Strike Force. Like, what is it? Their Wars, I think it is. I don't play Marvel Strike Force. I just watch some people who do. So it sounds kind of familiar to that, or similar to that in that sense of it's going to have the little bit of you aren't going to control it. It's going to be about the placements of where you place them, what they'll do, how they'll work together, and then they'll carry on. And since it's auto-controlled, meaning it's going to depend all on the AI. So, okay. Let's see what the more details we got here. There must be at least 3 heroes with level 100 or higher in the squad. The matching is based on the ability of the team, and up to 6 opposing teams will be nominated. Agents can freely select 1 team out of the 6 that has been put up. The winning team gets victory scores, while the defeated team loses victory scores. The battle will take place until all the heroes in the opposing team are defeated within the time limit. Acquired champions will battle as well. Oh, sorry, let's read that word properly. Acquired companions will battle as well. Huh, okay. There will also be a squad battle exclusive enhancement system called the Teamwork, wherein buffs are applied depending on the team formation. Okay, so again, leaning towards strategy of how do you build your teams, who do you build with who, that kind of thing. Before we jump into I'll go over thoughts I have on that here in a moment once we finish this. We are already in the final stage of polishing the squad battle so that it can be updated this August. We hope you're all excited for this new content. Okay, so from a free-to-play perspective, what does that mean? Well, it means it's going to look at the power of all of your heroes, which, as free-to-play, means that that's a very, very traditionally slower both vertical and horizontal progress as opposed to spenders or whales or whatever. I'm going to just call them spenders because people who or I guess I get you the best terminology because like I have spent money. Full disclosure. Marvel Future Revolutions, the account I play on, has spent a total of $65 since I started playing last September. Full disclosure. I have not spent any dollars since they did a Black Friday sale in November. Keep in mind, I started in September, and my last sale was at the end of November. I have not made a single purchase since then. We're now August. So, I play this game in basically entirely free to play. With that said, I have spent some dollars, so my account is technically even behind other free-to-play people because of the way I choose to play, which is kind of theory crafty, researchy, mess around and figure it all out so that other people don't have to. So it's with the intention of those of you who are out there playing Marvel Future Revolutions free to play, you can learn from the research I've done and from the choices or mistakes, whatever you want to call them. I choose to call them choices and research, so that you can maximize your benefits in a game like this that is designed and intended to try and encourage and get you to spend. We don't want that. We don't want to spend. Goal is always to not spend. So what does this mean though as a free to play? Honestly, it's okay. It's going to depend on your power. That's fine. If it works like anything else has in this game thus far, we've seen that they have matchmaking systems for both Dimension Duels and Omega Wars and Alliance Omega Wars and all that kind of stuff. Is it necessarily the best matchmaking system? Maybe not, but also taking into account populations, time, all of those different variables. Is there still... Sorry, I burped. You're going to get decent matchups, in my opinion. I don't win all the time, but I can win consistently. As my account, and my strongest character currently is at a very, very tiny baby 1.3 million power. So in comparison, I do know for a fact that there are multiple free-to-play accounts out there who have been playing since probably a little bit longer than me, because release was August of last year, because we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary, but they have been playing since then, and the way they played is how they invested into characters was, in a sense, wiser than what I did, because I was not focusing on any existing character. I was always moving to the current newest character to try and learn and research and figure out how do their systems work and all of that, and how do they do all of these types of things. But some of them who are all free to play and have been doing it for a long time, they're sitting at the 1.9 million to maybe brushing 2 million power. So for comparison, I am on my own accord significantly behind the power curve, so to speak. And I still see plenty of wins in my own time. So all that to say, I think this will be interesting. I personally think it's cool that it's going to be on auto. I know there are probably going to be plenty of people who are upset by it being on auto, but honestly, short of them having to create an entire new system, basically short of them creating an entire new game to play within the game to let you have a lot of control over what's going on, it makes sense that it's just going to be an auto thing. I'm sorry. Given all the other things they have in this game and that you're supposed to be in control most of the time, that kind of makes sense to me. Because again, at that point, this basically, to me, sounds like an aspect of Marvel Strike Force. And at that point... Or go play Marvel Strike Force. Okay, so moving on. Number 2, new superhero Wolverine. So I kind of had a good guess that this was going to be who it was. I was thinking definitely this, based off of the looks here. We saw these shoulders and we saw the pouches. We saw the gloves, no claws retracted. And I was kind of leaning towards it had a Savage Wolverine look to it from the comics. I don't personally know a lot about the comics, but I am starting to learn, and that's been a lot of fun. And so in that process, I was kind of trying to look up my other thought was Black Panther. And so I was looking through their 2 kind of comic runs of things to be okay, where might this be fitting in? And I found some Savage images from Savage Wolverine, or images from Savage Wolverine, that very much seem to fit that very well. So cool confirmation that it is Wolverine. We are guessing that no elaborate explanation is needed for our 11th superhero. It is none other than the renowned superhero Wolverine. Armed with an unmatched healing ability. Ooh, let's see some HP recovery value and valuability. All right, maybe. Claws made of adamantium metal, animalistic senses, and no-nonsense attitude. Wolverine is one of the most ferocious and dangerous heroes across all dimensions. One of the signature attributes of Wolverine is his unparalleled recovery. This ability allows him to continuously recover HP, and certain skills allow him to convert partial damage percent to HP. Ooh, that's cool. That's not all. His ultimate skill activates a strong recovery effect that gives him an upper hand in battle. All right. Wolverine will have 3 classes: Swift Strike, Adamantium Claws, and Ultimate Weapon. Swift Strike, a skill class that uses enhanced physique to aim a target to inflict more powerful damage or apply additional effects. Swift Strike characteristics: the target's movement will be restricted and additional debuffs will apply when conditions are satisfied. Okay. All right. So sounding like more of the utility stuff. Adamantium Claws, a skill class that weakens enemies by using the Adamantium Claws that he got from Weapon X Project. Adamantium Claws characteristics: Rupture, apply buffs on self and allies. Okay, so the positive side of the utility: Rupture decreases the target's defense and stacks effects. Ooh, that's cool. So that would be a really nice thing to help. Like, you could start stacking Rupture then with some of your other defense down, with some of your other defense downs, like your Scarlet Witch, and so on and so forth, and also Strange with your Soul Predators. You can do or not Soul Predator, but one of the dash ones. I can't remember what it's called. Stuff like that. So cool. That's kind of neat. An Ultimate Weapon, a skill class that inflicts damage by instantly reducing the distance to the enemy as if hunting prey. Okay. Ultimate Weapon characteristics: fast attack speed, consistently tracks the target. Ooh, that sounds like that's going to become very helpful for PvP, because that seems to be a constant big aspect for PvP, is what abilities and what attacks have better tracking and targeting when things are moving around. That could very well spell a big difference for a lot of people who like to play that melee character. And that's interesting. That could be a very, very helpful thing in PvP. I mean, it's great in PvE too, but I'll be honest, Marvel Future Revolution is predominantly really focused around PvP as the core. And a lot of the PvE stuff helps and is important, especially when it comes to alliance rankings. But it does seem that a lot of things do revolve around PvP. For instance, there's the Omega Wars, the Alliance Omega Wars, the Dimension Duels. We'll be having squad battles. And so it is very much there's a lot of things that are centered around the PvP side of this game, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. So that could be a very, very potent characteristic for people when they're considering if they want to play Wolverine as a PvP character, or what they want to do with him, really. That's awesome. We are currently adjusting and testing his balance before we wrap up. Hoping for your understanding for not being able to share detailed information as changes may arise. We will do our best so that you can meet the most ferocious, dangerous Wolverine this August. Ooh, okay. So, no direct confirmation that he is coming in August, but they will do their best to try and get him ready. That is awesome. That's great. I could definitely see that they want to get him out with the August patch, because especially if they so choose to make the August patch maybe delayed to say, let's take a look here, because we are already right here. Traditionally speaking, they do their patches, if I remember correctly, on Wednesdays going into Thursdays, or Tuesdays going into Wednesday. My brain can't remember right now. I'm going to have to look it back up and then probably add an addendum to this at some point. But the anniversary is basically 2 weeks and a day away. If they so chose to make the maintenance be the 24th into the 25th into the anniversary, they really want to have Wolverine come out on their 1-year anniversary. That's 1-year anniversary release, squad battles release. Potentially, it hasn't been mentioned yet in these notes, and it might not, but potentially even the next story update of wherever that's going. Big guess right now is Savage Shadowlands. So even like if they do that, but like right now it's looking like they're definitely promoting that they want this to be the squad battles and Wolverine patch of August. So like I could definitely see them waiting until the 24th into the 25th type of thing to do that. So yes. And okay, so new hero from a free-to-play perspective. Let's take a look, or let's think about this. In all honesty, new heroes are they're enticing bait for free-to-play. The problem, you are going to run into a lot of major problems. And the biggest thing here is that I'm going to forewarn and start this with, I have avidly chosen every time they've released a new character to, quote, turn that into my main. Reason being, I've just genuinely enjoyed them. When they released Magic, I really, really enjoyed Magic. I liked the way she felt. I loved everything about it. As time carried on, I got a little tired of, honestly, being in Melee. Melee is not necessarily my thing. It's not my favorite all the time. And then the next hero they announced was Scarlet Witch, who was not a Melee character predominantly. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe that. And then sure enough, she came out. I really enjoyed her. And so I currently kind of use her as a pseudo main. I used her as this last go around, doing my own kind of researching and trying to theory craft on, and by taking the information from what I call the whale searchers, or the people, the spenders, who are basically able to spend more time and money, quite honestly, to be able to test out things that I don't have the ability to test, but that I can theorize about. They get to actually test out and then confirm, and then I go and I look at their information to see how close was I right, where was I, blah, blah, blah. And with Scarlet Witch as my kind of test run to see how I could do compared to them with using all free-to-play, not to be boastful or anything, but I did darn good. I wasn't perfect, obviously, but I don't think anybody is. I don't even think their stuff is necessarily perfect per se, but their stuff is amazing. I'm speaking predominantly of like Wolverthor and a lot of the content creators for this game that are part of the CCC, which is the Content Creator Corps for Marvel Future Revolutions, and a lot of the people that are part of their alliances and discords and stuff. And a lot of those people are very, very well informed. They do a lot of time researching. Wolverthor does. And I look to them a lot for a lot of my confirmation, or a lot of, I think this is what the answer might be. Let's see if their tested answers mirror what my thoughts were. And I would say I was about 90 to 95% in line with them, which to me, that's awesome. That tells me that my theory of my way of thinking and my way of going at these things is not too far off and could be very much applicable for free-to-play players, or for even people who are just looking for maybe a different take. But back to the new hero thing, is new heroes, wonderful to play, awesome. Biggest problems you're going to run into is that they are going to have a very hard, what I'll call a lock on them, which is quite literally you cannot transmute costumes, cards, which are the two major things that you transmute. You can't transmute any of those every time a new character comes out, that character basically is locked out of that system completely. So if you want to get them geared up and get them powered up with costumes and cards, you have to draw those things on them, and then any of the stuff that you get that they can't use, you also cannot move that off of them onto another character to make use of it. Because one of my biggest things I will advocate for in being a free-to-play player is finding as many ways to make as much use out of everything you get as possible. So when you get and you go and you finally do your 10 pulls with draw tickets, and you don't get the regional or the special that you're looking for your main, but you get a regional or a special that you know can work for one of the other alts that you've got, You want to be able to transmute that. You want to be able to switch that over to them, get that on them, help them be as strong as they can be. So once your main is as strong as they can be for now, and you're slowly working to get those other pieces powered up on your alts, they've got good pieces ready for them, right? So biggest problem you're going to see is stuff like that. You are going to be locked into only working on that character, which is why personally my account, I feel, is kind of in the as drastically behind as it is because I keep choosing the brand new character to focus on, and then I'm locked out of moving all of that stuff that's on them until the next brand new character comes out, which is currently how they do it, plus or minus, because realistically Magic's unlock came before Scarlet Witch released, but for all intents and purposes it was basically right around this. It was like a month or so in between. So realistically you were still locked. Like Magic was locked for a good long while of all the stuff that I had on her stuck on her. Once she was able to transmute, boom, 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 transmuted stuff off, gave it over to other alts, and yay, they had some more power. Not super strong, but more power. Hooray. So, do I think it's worth it? I think you're going to have to play him. I think you're going to have to like his playstyle. Because if you enjoy playing Wolverine, then it is absolutely worth it for you to switch him to your main. Because here's the best part. You're going to have to roll. You can't transmute to him, so it's not like you can take your best gear you've already got and move it over. You're going to have to draw on them. Or on, in this case, him, on Wolverine. You're going to have to do all your tickets and pulls on Wolverine to try and get the stuff you want to get on Wolverine. And with that, you're going to have to make sure that you are still, basically, you're still going to have that your other character who previously was your main, who is at whatever power you're at currently. 1.5 million, 1.6, whatever it is. 1.2, maybe you're not even a million. I don't know. Wherever your current main is at, you're going to keep using them for your daily stuff, in the sense of, if it's a max level character, you're going to do your max level raids. You're going to do your max level blitzes. You're going to do your OWs and your DDs on whoever you're already doing those on. And then what you're going to do is, once you're done with that, you can choose to do one of two things. You can choose to... Well, actually, the best part is you can do well, one of two things. You can choose to level up the character, or in this case, you could choose to level up Wolverine manually and spend your time really getting a hands-on feel for him as he levels, so as you experience it. Or you can choose to use the Pegasus base if you are already and you have expedition tokens or guides. That's the right word, guides saved up. You can go ahead and use those. And then what you can also do is, fun little tidbit, you can play on the character who is off running Pegasus missions. Okay, as of current, unless this changes, I'm going to say this, as of current patch of this right now recording on, what is the date? On the 10th of August, you can, anybody who's in the Pegasus base, you can have them be on Pegasus base missions and still be on them running around doing stuff. So if you have them on the main missions of Pegasus base, you can be in a previous zone or wherever you want to be doing other stuff on them. Again, just getting a feel for them or not getting a feel for them. My personal thing is, I don't really want to mess with them, with any character, until they've hit at least level 100. New characters, that is. Because of the fact that all of their abilities are going to unlock slowly from leveling from levels 1 to 100, or it's less than 100, but it varies. So I just prefer to wait until they're 100. Is that, like, you can mess with them and you can get a feel as they're going, or you can just kind of let them do what they do. And like if it's not of interest to you to run around on a character while they're off Pegasus basing and whatever, then don't. Go play a different game. Go work on your ult. Go farm. Go do whatever it is you want to do. You don't have to. That's the best part, is you don't need to worry about it. Is it going to be as efficient as manually leveling? Probably not. At some point, for a free-to-play, big fun factor. As a spender, no. You can absolutely probably level your character faster because you've got stronger cards and other whatnot that you can easily throw over and what have you. As free-to-play, personally, at some point, it hits where the content, it's taking more time for you to manually do the content than it would be for the auto system to play it for you. Okay, so where was I? Let's see here. We will just kind of pick back up of free to play, new character, kind of difficult to do. My suggestion is definitely to go ahead and like play them. I wait until 100 because then at that point I get to have access to, I can purchase all of their different abilities. They're not that expensive to buy. It's like 15,000 per variation. Each skill has 4 variations. So let's do quick maths. I don't know, because there's 8 skills. 8 times 4 equals 32 times 15,000. So you're looking at 480,000 gold. Under half a mil. To me, that's not a big deal when in the scheme of if you are looking to try and learn everything about the character and pick what you want to do with the character as a whole. If you just want to play them as a main, but you don't really know what you want to do, you just want to kind of wait and see what people who, like the spenders, are finding out and seeing what they say is the best way to go. Honestly, in that case, definitely don't put any investment into any of their skills beyond just whatever they are when they're there. Pick some, do whatever. Again, definitely would suggest then at that point the Pegasus base, because they will be able to get through all of the missions regardless of their power level, as long as they're the appropriate level or unlock and whatnot. And you don't even have to worry about what they have on. Sorry. You don't have to worry about what they have on, anything like that. They just literally can get through all the missions and you're hunky-dory. And yeah, that would be my best suggestion there as a free-to-play. Wait and see. Try them out a little bit as they're a little bit higher level. Definitely understand that unless you are choosing to free-to-play stock up, which honestly, seeing as they haven't really been giving us many announcements or much warning to kind of like prepare beyond the fact of you go, okay, the last character was released here and I don't like that character, so I'm going to save everything ever in hopes that the next character is a good one that I want to invest in. You probably, like, I don't know how much you're going to have as far as a stockpile of spendables for the new character is going to be. You can absolutely start saving now, since we have confirmation and we know for a fact that it's Wolverine, and that the goal is to have him come out at the end of this month here, so or sometime this month here in August. So up to you. I have already been saving, not necessarily at all for the new character, but instead just because for the anniversary, with them potentially having hopefully a lot of really, really good deals. A lot of good crystal deals, a lot of good deals, or banners, as they're called, for doing different pulls, costumes, companions, cards, all those things. I've been stocking all of my tickets up for a little while now, and like only about a month or so, like since about end of July. Not a super long time, but just enough just to have something so I can spend a little bit here. There may be the potential that I will do an actual spender's purchase. Very small chance. The only reason I did the one back in November was because they ran such a good price on the thing. Like, it was such a good deal that I don't like that the systems are predatory, but I also have no problem rewarding the company with my money when I see them do something that I feel is a good thing. When they give a deal of for $7, you get literally what is about 8 times the value. And quite honestly, based on how much it costs when there's no deals for crystals, it was like, when it's a good deal on those things, I have no problem supporting that, because yes, I would like to see more of those. These 2 times, woo, like, okay, not so bad. Again, I always try to maximize any spending wherever possible, from the sense of, like, if you do spend your free-to-play crystals. But in the realist sense is, like, if it ever comes to that you ever want to spend money on a game, or want to spend money in that sense, or towards trying to do something like that, is don't do it unless it's really rewarding for you. Because Why? Don't reward them for doing what they're doing every day. Reward them for what the opportunities that they give you when they're really good. To hopefully encourage them to want to give you more of those, because I don't mind supporting a good business and a good company when they want to give good things and do good deals frequently. When they want to do it every now and then. So, we're going to move into balance adjustments. Hero skill balance adjustments. We will be tackling in this update the most voiced out concerns of our agents. Hero skill balancing. The goal is to boost the battle concept of the heroes and improve the overall balance as seen in various suggestions and data. We are currently in the testing phase and changes may occur. Therefore, we ask for your understanding for not being able to disclose everything through the dev note. Below is a gist of the balance adjustments of Black Widow and Iron Man that we are currently working on. Ooh, so as Iron Man mains were just recently, and as I saw where some of them were recently saying Iron Man is dead, perhaps maybe this will be the shock paddles of life that Iron Man needs. I personally was unaware that Black Widow was in such a place that needed assistance, but I don't main Widow, so I don't know. Yeah, I didn't know that Widow was in such a place that was looking for improvements, but here we are. Widow is going to be seeing some improvements. Widow is going to see motion decrease and range increase of some firearm expert skill classes. Some firearm expert skill class for stability. Okay. Iron Man. Reduce the preceding motion delay of ultimate skill. All right. Add barrier and target tracking feature while in use. Okay. This part, I get that every character's ultimate is different and has its thing. But I feel like, just based on the fact that there are several heroes who have ultimates that have what I'll call casting or charge times that they get invulnerability or invincibility during, where others don't get that same, like, cast time invulnerability. They're just always, like, Iron Man has been one of them. Scarlet Witch is another one. Where, like, Scarlet Witch, her ult, as she is casting, and boom, you just get to wail on her free of charge. She can't do anything about it. Magic gets to transform into the Dark Child, do the same kind of explosion time, all while invulnerable, and then gets to continue, going around being Dark Child, blah, blah, blah. Great, awesome, cool. Scarlet Witch gets her own thing, but Scarlet Witch gets to be murdered during her ramp up, whereas Magic is locked out of being killed at all. There are several others that are like that as well. Captain Marvel, invulnerability during the bomb, jaw. But then there are several others, like previously and apparently slightly getting a change, Iron Man, who during his whole cast and during the whole everything, he's locked, can't break it, and you can just beat the crap out of him. That sucks. I understand, like, sure, just because he's stationary, he shouldn't get invulnerability. They shouldn't get invulnerability the whole time. Or, like, because, like, Magic's invulnerability is only for the cast. My thought is that it should be that right there. All ultimates have that same initial casting time of invulnerability. So no matter who you are, who you're playing, you can depend on your ult, because as previously a Magic main, I would very particularly use and hold my ult in PvP to try and either bait or save me, depending on what I'm doing in that moment, somebody else, like an opponent, because I knew that I was going to be invincible and not able to be touched. So I can try and get them to bait into an attack or get them to come closer to me, so then other people like you can use that as a very, very viable way of making plays or of strategy. And again, sure, part of the strategy is not every hero gets that, but also if at the end of the day you're starting to do things like adding a barrier. This sounds like at this point you might as well just do something like that. Look at what the cast time is. What is Magic's invulnerability time? What's Captain Marvel's invulnerability time? If they're the same, awesome. Kind of maybe use that as your... I know there are a couple others, but my brain can't remember them right now, who have invulnerability as well when they're doing their casting of ultimates. And then there's basically everybody else who doesn't. And it's one of those things where figure out what that time frame is. Or if that's too long, then fine. Shorten it because you're giving it to everybody. And then give it to everybody so that during the initial cast of everybody's ultimate, you don't have to worry. Great. Afterwards, cool. Kill him. But then also my thought is there too is why not give somebody like Iron Man, some of those people who are a stuck in place caster for their ultimate. So the Iron Man, the Doctor Strange, the Storm. Let them be able to break that. Again, maybe they can, and I just don't know. And whenever I watch, when I watch those people in PvP, they're opting to not do it. I don't know. But if they can't break the ult, that sucks. Because then they're just a sitting duck. That's pretty cool in one way. I think they could do better with allowing something for everybody to kind of like, because if at this point they're trying to add that, but pseudo not add it for everybody type of deal. At that point, just come on. Same little invulnerability window at the initial casting of the ult. Afterwards, great. Everybody's ult is what it is. Except for maybe, of course, like your Widow, who just goes invisible and I believe invincible anyways. So like, because invulnerable or invincible, all the same. Anywho, let's see. There are many other hero balance adjustments, but detailed information will be disclosed in our update notice, which we will also be going over. Hopefully, you'll come and join us for that as well. Guard damage increase and decrease balance adjustments. Many agents have sent their opinions about guard damage to the dev team. Among them, the top opinions were 1. Guards not getting destroyed, and 2. Disproportionate effectiveness of guard damage increase and decrease stats. The dev team believes that this problem arose because guard damage decrease was designed to be more effective than guard damage increase. Okay. The guard is a very important combat element in Marvel Future Revolution. Thus, we discussed in depth on how to solve this contradicting problem occurring in the live service. Adjustments will be made this August by applying a new formula to fix the issue where guard damage decrease was overpowered. Okay, so I guess that means prepare to see more guard damage breaks. And prepare to start thinking in terms of maybe your top PvP skills to choose won't necessarily just be whichever ones can dish out the most damage, but you might be able to start thinking more about a guard break build. You start including that stuff a little bit more than maybe some people are. All right. Elemental damage balance adjustment. Storm and Star-Lord currently have high damage output as compared to other heroes through elemental damage stats. The development team deemed that there is a serious imbalance since elemental damage stats affect both PvP and PvE. Thus, after much deliberation, hero balance will be adjusted by decreasing the effectivity of elemental damage stats. Ouch. We hope for your understanding that this adjustment was unavoidable to provide a more fun play amongst our agents. Okay. Just out of curiosity here. Just curious. And I mean, it might very well be. I don't know. That's why I'm saying, let's see here. Okay, yeah. Definitely seeing many... I mean, Storm has been a strong PvE contender since forever. So I feel like looking at the PvE side of things... Well, we're going to do it in a second here, but just for talk of seemingly both, it affects both PvP and PvE, I'm expecting now to see a much more imbalance of Storms and Star-Lords in the tops here, because regardless of I should be seeing this. Got a Widow, Spider-Man, Widow, Strange, Spider-Man, 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 Iron Man, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, Spider-Man. No, my character, Scarlet Witch. Captain America, Captain America. Whoo! Hey, we got one. Star-Lord, 16th. Okay. We found one in the top 20. All right. Because can't say top 15, top 20. Cap, Iron Man, Strange, Iron Man, Witch, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Widow, Iron Man, Widow. Oh, got a second one. Here we go. Number 2 coming in at 27. Another Star-Lord. But like, huh? I'm sorry. Okay, here's our third, but like, what did we just hear me say more of? Star-Lord and Storm, or Spider-Man, or Spider-Man and Iron Man? Like, okay, I don't. Maybe in the higher echelons in the paid tiers of things, but again, that's why I'm looking at the stats of the leaderboards of that's the paid echelons. That's where this is all at. So here we go. Omega Wars, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Magic, Captain America, Spider-Man. Ooh, we got one. Storm. Okay. Top 10 at least. Top 10. Much higher up this time. Spider-Man. Ooh, okay. Star-Lord. We're starting to see it a little bit more. Maybe in the group play, it's a little more apparent. Because now we got 2 in the top 10. Widow, Marvel, Spider-Man, Marvel, Witch, Strange. Okay. We're already like, I am seeing a bit more here. And we are now at basically the point where we saw our first one. We've literally seen 3 times as many. Just in the same fact from Omega War to DD. So okay, so maybe in a group setting, that is definitely a little more there. But again, I don't know. It seems kind of mean, especially to the free-to-play Star-Lords and Storms out there. Like, I know I've got friends who play Storm, particularly. They aren't always super thrilled about what they've got going for them in the Storm world. Like, oh hey, we'll see what that looks like. Miscellaneous improvements. Omega card exclusive stat changes. Many agents voiced their concerns that surface to air damage and air to surface damage Omega card exclusive stats are only useful in specific situations. Very true. Since it would be difficult to expand its utilization to make it more useful, we decided to replace it with a more meaningful stats. Cool. That's nice. Awesome. Battle Challenge Trial Balance Adjustment. Okay, so this is the later ones. We will increase the acquirable points when setting higher trial difficulties for the trial steps of Battle Challenge round 36 and above. Also, the issue where total points are accumulated by clearing the rounds with trials, then acquiring more time bonus by quickly clearing the round in regular mode for a higher score will be fixed as well. Okay, wait, say that again, Brain. Also, the issue where total points are accumulated by clearing the rounds with trial, then acquiring more time bonus by quickly clearing the round in regular mode. Oh, I got you. So people going in, doing the trials with it harder, clearing it, removing all of those difficulties, meaning it's going to get significantly easier for them to do, then going back in for the getting the better time score, that's going to be taken away. Got it. So basically, you won't be able to lower your difficulty to raise your score, but you will still be able to raise the difficulty to raise your score as initially what they intended. Okay. I wasn't doing that. I didn't even realize that was a thing. Again, I'll be honest, I'm not even full clearing all the way through to the 40 steps currently, so not even an issue for me. For you, maybe this is something you were doing. Keep that in mind. It's going to be going away. This sums up the main aspects and balance adjustments for the August update. Are you excited for the new content squad battle and the new playable superhero Wolverine? Yes, and hopefully yes. Thank you, Marvel Future Revolution dev team. Woo! All right. And that's it. That is everything that we've got that has to go with this. This video is probably, or not probably, it is absolutely way longer than I intended it to be. But you know what? That happens. That is definitely probably what you're going to expect to see here. I'll be honest. Hopefully you find some great information, that you find some value in all of this as well. And until the next video, this is Casual, and I'll see you around.